there was a time where I thought the issues I had physically were basically, it felt chronic, it felt permanent. And then talking to you, I understand that it's rehab, and that's what is important. So one of the exercises that you taught me, and something, because I understand when I get you to come on, there's a lot of like things that'd be cool to show. It's a podcast, so there you go. That's a podcast limitation. If you're listening, you can't see. If you're watching, well, you can only see certain things that I can show. You
That's
can't.
right, we can describe
show big movements. Yeah, so the only thing that we can actually do is things that are easily described and shown at the same time. With the limited space we've got. So one of the things that I liked is because it's a word that I keep hearing. I don't know why I say it. Every time I talk to someone who's physio inclined, I'm like, isometrics? But basically, the exercise you taught me regarding my neck, I'm going to run through it and you just fill in the gaps, right? To see what what I'm missing. So my issue of my neck, for you to fix it, which was relevant for martial arts, because you're meant to have your neck stable to receive, well, not to receive, in case you get hit in the head or hit in the chin, so your head doesn't spin out too much. So what the exercise you told me was to put my chin down like this, and then both hands behind my head, and then lean back while sitting. Obviously, this is not me fully doing it. I don't have full mobility, but yeah, that was the exercise you taught me, right? Did I miss anything?
No. Okay.
Can you fill in the gaps of what was going on with that exercise as you're telling me?
Yeah, so I'll give you a bit of context. It doesn't just apply to martial arts. It applies to anyone who sits for a long time or has a phone in their hand. What happens to them is, I'm going to see if I can be side on, but when you're sitting for a long time, you start to slouch.
Yep.
Your chin starts to protrude. Once you're slouched, the first thing that happens is your head droops. Now, for you to sustain a view of either the computer or whatever's in front of you, you have to tilt your head back, okay? Because you're slouched, you just have to tilt your head up and back just to keep looking forward. But the consequence of that is, A, your shoulders have rolled forward, but B, your neck right at the top has extended. Now, that's the position you get used to, okay? It becomes your normal, and what some people say a bad posture or hunchback posture and whatnot, okay? Now, if you try to come out of that and do some sort of activity, like say martial arts for yourself, or even if you're trying to sleep, you don't sleep slouched, you have a pillow behind you. So the pillow puts you out of position. Some people, if it might feel comfortable. Some people, if the pillow is hard, it forces you out of position, and it makes you blame the pillow because you wake up with pain or something.
But no, you don't. But because you don't have the knowledge, you don't know that you're actually going into it wrong. It's not the pillow.
Exactly. You're in a position that's uncomfortable. The pillow forces you out of it. So your muscles, your connective tissue, your bones are not adapted to that position, because you've just spent 10, 12 hours sitting slouched and your head cranked back, right? So this exercise I taught you is just the start of many, but it's to restore that position by tucking your chin just tad down, okay? It straightens up the back of your neck. You're no longer cranked looking upwards. No, this is just for the neck. It has not fixed your shoulders rolling forward. But it's enough of a fix to strengthen up the muscles, the neck muscles, which are called deep neck flexors. They run right behind your windpipe, and then they keep your chin down, okay? They keep your chin down, carry your skull, and also they help allow the muscles at the back of your neck to hold up your head. Yeah? So it's like, imagine pillars holding up your head. So it goes all the way around. When you tuck your chin in, you now have a bunch of more pillars at the front of your neck holding it up. By having your hands behind your head and trying to push in while tucking your chin in, we've now done an exercise that's isometric. You're pushing against the force, but you're not moving. The purpose of that is it's early rehab. Your body does not know how to move yet, but it does get exposed to learning how to engage the muscle, um, fight against the force. Once your body learns how to apply force through the muscles, we can now get into moving the muscle through range, which is dynamic exercise. But right now, is isometric is a good place to start because you learn to use the muscle. That isometric alone was able to help you stabilize your neck, get you into a better position in your neck, and counter the posture that you developed
Yeah,
from
built up
office
over
work.
time with what I
Exactly.
do for long extended time of the day.
Exactly. And just like any other exercise, you don't get strong in one day. You had to repeat with quality form to develop the new adaptation, which is gaining strength in the new position. So that countered the posture that you developed from sitting.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have a more improved posture, which is more applicable to your martial arts. Okay. But just in day-to-day life too, whenever your neck is exposed or you're sleeping or whatever, your neck is in a position which is less vulnerable, much stronger, much more stable. Okay. And if it's exposed to stress, you won't be in pain.
I've got a bit of a side tangent, and I just want to touch on it. It's a bit about the industry because we talked about the pillow.
Yeah.
With what you've just said, is it then obviously has it then created a market of people selling pillows? You know, saying that they'll do certain things like posturepedic or whatever, foam, memory foam, this or that. Now, what is your, I suppose, your view, and what do you know, and how do you feel about all this?
So if we just go back a moment, what did I say? To strengthen takes time. It won't happen in one go. A person in pain needs relief. You're not going to wait 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months, 4 months. That's how long strength takes for some people with chronic issues. Okay? It takes a long duration of repetition and practice and sustained habits to come out of either poor posture or weakness or injury. Okay. Where do pillows come in? Pillows, supports, cushions, all that stuff, orthotics. That's a podiatry thing, but these all come in to correct your posture or alleviate pain, alleviate stress from those areas immediately.
Oh, okay, so you don't have to dedicate to the rehab of the 2 weeks of doing your isometric.
Well, no, you have to dedicate to the rehab to counter your habits.
Yep.
But you need to. Well, you don't need to, but it's good to have something that's going to alleviate the pain, so you're more stress free and you can commit more to your rehab.
I see. So there's an understanding that the pillow isn't a one solves all. You might get the relief from the pillow because you wake up feeling a little bit better, but you obviously, without the exercising, you haven't solved the root. But it's not to say that the pillow is like a snake oil or a marketing scheme. It's that there is a purpose for it. It's serving something, but people need to understand that this isn't going to solve your problem. It can help you along the path of solving that problem.
Correct. So a pillow, or say for example a lumbar support or orthotics for your feet, they all have a purpose in allowing your body to move better or be in a position which is more supported. Okay. If you're more supported, your muscles undergo less stress. Okay. So less load. If say you have weaknesses, the muscles that are overworking, they undergo less load. The rehab, what does that do? That strengthens up the muscles that need to be working, but it doesn't happen immediately. And because you need to develop that strength bit by bit over a long duration, meanwhile, you can alleviate the stress while you're getting stronger. And so that's where those pieces of equipment have a part to play. But it's important to understand that they will not solve your problem. It may make it feel a lot better because it's alleviating the stress, but you do need to address the root cause, because you take the piece of equipment away, you're gonna go back to where you were.
Or down here.
The old habits will come back. The weaknesses will be exposed.
Yep, and you'll still.
And the stresses will come back as well.
I see. I like that tension. It was a comment for me. It's like, 'cause you know how I'm working with podcasts, trying to get better. It's a good tangent. It wasn't too far out, and it's still close to the root.